Generally speaking, consultants have a pretty tough sales job. You've got to go in and tell a company that they're not doing something right, that they need outside help. Now, the specific services that we offer is an even tougher sales job because we don't go to companies that aren't doing well and say we can help fix you. In fact, we go to the companies that are doing spectacularly well, and we tell them, in essence, everything they're doing is wrong. If they keep doing that which has made them successful, they're ultimately going to perish. It's a really tough message. So how do you persuade someone that's been successful, that seems to be doing everything right, that's been getting praised their entire career, that maybe they don't understand the whole picture? Well, there are 3 tricks that we use. The first is we try to change the tenor of the discussion. We don't talk to them about their business because they will always know their business better than we will. Instead, what we try to do is talk about history, talk about deep historical case studies of other great companies. Companies like Digital Equipment Corporation or General Motors or Sears, companies that at one time were widely admired, that suddenly seemingly fell off a cliff. We know those stories better than they do, and we begin to create a space for discussion that allows us to say, hey, maybe that which happened to them could happen to us. The other thing we try to do is to help them learn through analogies. Again, we don't go in and say, this is what you've got to do differently. Instead, we give them another case study and say, how can we apply the learning from this to your context, asking them to do the work. I never cease to be amazed. One of the classic case studies of disruptive innovation is how Nucor and the other steel mini mills disrupted the large integrated mills like U.S. Steel. We'll go through this case study in all sorts of different industries, and people will say, I've never thought about it before, but the same thing is happening to us. They'll talk about the dimension of performance that in the steel industry is the quality of steel. They'll say, for us, it's this. They'll talk about how the mini mills started in the underbelly of the steel industry, rebar, reinforcing bars of steel to make concrete stronger. They'll say, our rebar is this. Using analogies gives people a very safe way to have a discussion. The final thing that we do is we simplify the ask. We don't tell them, throw the playbook out, stop doing everything you're doing, 180-degree shift. Instead, what we do is tell them to keep doing what they're doing and begin thinking about what small steps they can take to balance some of their activities. We take them to what my colleague calls the land of and. You want to continue to be excellent at everything you're doing, and you want to begin to create the ability to create tomorrow's great growth businesses. Changing the playing field, using analogies, and making it simple to say yes are ways that you can begin to persuade people to do things differently than they've done them in the past.